appreciate the chairman of the committee for giving us privilege to speak. The honorable members, I bow and respect your presence. The issue of consumer in the power sector can never be avoided. All the discussion here since morning, much hasn't been said about the challenge and the frustration of Nigerian consumers. Permit me to just say this. The condition of the Nigerian consumers, they are truths that are not being discussed much because emphasis is on investment, investment, investment. Can we, because we want to invest, we have violate provisions of the Nigerian Constitution? Can we, because we want to invest, we turn our people to slaves because of electricity? This man, Howard Zinn, said it is the special gift of the oppressed groups to reveal universal truths. We need to reveal universal truths with regards to Electricity Act 2023. It is anti-consumer. The Electricity Act 2023 is purely anti-consumer because Section 119 is on consumer protection and licensing performance standards. Good. Based on that, Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission developed Customer Protection Regulations 2023. It deals with metering, billing, customer complaints handling, service standards, disconnection and reconnection. None of these regulations are obeyed by the distribution companies today. All of them are violated in every community. I give you an example. Right here we are standing in Edo State. 3 communities in Edo State are told that they are owing 1.056 billion naira to Benin Disco. In Asaba, last year, towards December, Benin Disco shut down 7 factories intermittently. Each of them paid about 50 million naira before they could come back to work. Imo State, Transpower, that is a subsidiary of EEDC, is not licensed till date, but they are collecting money from every community in the state. And this collection is with POS, without bill. Now, where is the law? The question is social justice and fundamental human rights of citizens to be jettisoned? Now, the Electricity Act 2023, if you look at it, is similar to what William Lloyd Garrison described the American Constitution as before the England Anti-Slavery Society. He said it is a covenant with death and an agreement with hell. The Electricity Act 2023 is an agreement with death when consumers are concerned. The average Nigerian consumer today sees the Electricity Act 2023 as an agreement for slavery and death. Why am I saying that? Section 217 of the Electricity Act is on service and force declaration. Why will you tell me that I'm on ban A and you give me light for 4 hours and collect money for ban A and nobody punishes you? And it's false declaration. If you interpret it, it's similar to Section 419, obtaining under false pretense. And the distribution companies that do this boldly go to government and stand. But youths are put in prison saying they are doing internet fraud. Somebody that stole a loaf of bread is put in prison. But a distribution company that takes over the infrastructure that consumers spent billions of naira in a bomb community in Imo State, a community that spent 17 million to buy transformer, pole and wire, paid the Enugu distribution company to energize it. They were going to collect money with POS without bill. And the law says you have to submit bill. And every transformer should have a meter for you to quantify the quantity of energy you are collecting money for. Most distribution companies have no meter on the transformers. Tuesday, Monday this week, last week, we were at NEC, Port Harcourt Disco, chartering 17 communities in Odorikot in Akwa Ibom State from 2019 to 2025, last year when we intervened, had no light. But Port Harcourt Disco is asking them for 80 million naira debt. Last Tuesday, NEC insisted they should bring evidence that there was light in that area. The period they're asking for money, they couldn't provide it. Bulk billing has been abolished by NEC since 2016, but most communities are billed on bulk billing today in violation of the regulation. Now, you hear this cause tell you vandalism, electricity theft, and all manner of things against consumers. The question is, how did these bills you are claiming are debts generated? How were they generated? No transformer reading to show justifiably and accountably and transparently how these bills emerged. And you just sit in your comfort of your office and reel out bills for people to pay. When the people refuse, they disconnect them without following the law. How will Nigerian consumers be protected in the hands of these distribution companies? As you review the law, I request, we made some recommendations. Please permit me for 1 minute to mention the recommendations. Look at this. They will tell you vandalism, electricity theft, section 217, 221, 226 are all on issues of vandalism. And then they are all on issues that relate to violation of rights. No disco has a policy or a unit for enforcement of penalties and offenses segment of the Electricity Act. Now, morally, it is morally wrong. The civil defense people say they protect critical infrastructure. The question is, who owns this infrastructure that are protecting? An infrastructure that a consumer bought and you took it over without paying him back. And there is third-party investment policy. The discos do not obey. The rule is that you sign an agreement with the disco that they will pay you back before you invest. Nobody enlightens consumers on that. They are kept in the dark. And when they go, the disco will tell them to sign it off, that they have donated it to the disco. What kind of wickedness? Where is justice in this? Now, when you look at section 17 of the Constitution, it talks about social justice. It talks about equity. It talks about how is rule of law maintained. Section 34 is against torture, inhuman and degrading treatments. And the discos do this to Nigerians. So I call on the House. Look at section 217 on false declaration. No punishment is given to the disco for charging people for band A and serving them for 4 hours. And then no punishment is given to them for taking over people's investment in infrastructure to make business and make their own personal money without refunding the people. Rather, government will tell civil defense, once you buy it and connect to the grid, they say it's their own. They use it to make money without refunding. And then you expect the infrastructure to be safe. So most of the vandalism you hear about is as a result of vengeance by consumers, anger by consumers. If they don't treat consumers this way, they'll protect their infrastructure. Honorable members, sir, representative of the speaker, finally, please, sir, I have submitted this, I printed it, but I want to say this. It is embarrassing to hear National Security Advisor say they are protecting infrastructure without looking at consumer rights abuses. There's a nexus between consumer rights abuse in the power sector and vandalism of infrastructure. If you want to deal with it, you need to get the consumers, address their problems so that they can stand to be able to protect those infrastructure. Because those infrastructure is helping the discos make money and helping the people. Thank you. Please, Mr. Chairman, sir, our recommendations, the National Assembly should establish an independent electricity consumer protection advocacy agency with statutory powers to investigate consumer rights violations, enforce consumer protection standards, protect offending licensees, prosecute offending licensees, and present electricity consumers in policy and regulatory processes across the nation. In the Electricity Act, units are set up to handle regulation, transmission, distribution, none for consumers. In the Ministry of Power, regulation, distribution, transmission have departments. Consumer have no department. And then that is why you don't have accurate data today as regards consumer enumeration. You don't even have information on how consumer policy implementations are being violated. Now, number two, we are proposing a legislative advocacy center for power sector reform should be established by an act of parliament to serve as a permanent institutional mechanism for monitoring power sector reforms, receiving consumer petitions, conducting legislative research, and providing evidence-based recommendations to National Assembly. Because many a times, it's only government that talk to the legislature. They don't hear from consumers. But if you hear from consumers, the laws can be balanced. But the way it is today, it is one-sided only to government and service providers. But the consumers on whose interest privatization was predicated are not considered. Let me stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Honorable, off your mic. But then again, Mr. Speaker and the Honorable Chairman says he's speaking the minds of the people. Allow him.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be part of this program. But please, sir, allow me to make a very quick correction. I'm not here as an association, and I find it very, very disturbing that the gentleman making the announcement equates us with my friend, Shifokole. I'm not here for a looter. I'm here to represent 11 electricity distribution companies. I came here this morning with 11 MD CEOs. Most of them have gone from all over the country. And someone will now look at us and say, association, and then a looter. I'm not here for a looter. I'm here to make statements that will help us to see what we want, sir.
It's always important.
I'm not blaming the chairman. I'm talking about the gentleman making the announcement, sir.
No. Wait, please, for clarification. I think I will.
So I'm not here as an association. Instead of 11 people to come and speak, we say one person would speak for the industry. That's what we do. Gencos and Disco, sir. So why should we be seen like a looter? Now my brother has come to even make statements that can never bring light. So we should just look at the issue and see how we can solve the problem. For me, what we should do is, how do we solve the problem?
Listen, please.
Not you, sir.
Listen,
Not
please.
you, sir.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Honorable colleagues.
Yes, sir. Yes, sister. No, I'm talking about the sequence. They gave us a program.
Please, you are not authorized to speak yet. You raise a point, so you wait for the clarification first.
Thank you, sir.
We are governed by our procedures here. We are not here to debate. What is important here, your name is Sunday Oduntan, MD CEO, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors. That is what the MC used to call it, because it's an association of 11 discos, right? You are the MD CEO of that association. So what was wrong? So, and we directed that the Association of Consumers, whatever protection, speak first, so that you get to hear some of the issues they will raise, and then you'll have opportunity to respond to some of those issues. We believe by the time now you are here, you are prepared with your own presentation, right?
Thank you,
for
sir.
me, it left for the committee to agree for you to speak on behalf of all the discourse. All the discourse there are legal entity, each one of them. So it is our discretion to agree whether you speak on their behalf, or each disco will speak specifically on its peculiarity. I will recognize Honorable Harrison.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, and the sector operators. We're here to find solutions, and the discourse operates in different geopolitical zones, different markets, with various synergies and situations. So no one person can speak for all the discourse. They are legal entities. They entered into this agreement with federal government. They did the purchasing, and they are running as private entities in Nigeria. So if they have an association, it's probably for their own engagement, social engagement. But as far as business, as far as corporate identity is concerned, they are all individual operators in the industry. And here is to find solution. No one person can speak for all the discourse. They will all come here and do their presentation as it pertains to them. So, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Barrister Harrison Anoze Nwadike. I'm a native of Isu clan, and I speak for the good people of Isu, Njaba, Nkwere, Nwangele Federal Constituency. I do hereby move a motion that the gentleman standing in the podium can only speak for himself. As his card says, that he's the chairman or whatever of an association of discos. He cannot speak for each of the discos. He can only talk to us in his capacity, the social networking the discos do among themselves, which is not relevant to what we are doing here today anyways. But if we want to allow him to talk, it can only be on those social engagements. As far as the business of today is concerned, my motion is that he cannot speak for the discos. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Thank you very much. A motion has been moved. Any seconder?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I am Engineer Mohammed Buba Jajere. I represent the good people of Fika, Fune Federal Constituency. I'm from Yobe State, Mr. Chairman. I want to second the motion, ably moved by my honorable colleague here, and I so second. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Motion moved and seconded. Honorable colleagues, is that the opinion of the honorable colleagues? Those in support say ayes? Those against say nay. Ayes have it. So, are seconded and affirmed. So, Mr. Sunday Oduntan, the MDCO of the Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributions, I know him, I know his competence. He's a very hardworking, sincere person. But you know, we are guided by our procedure. And we are talking about Nigeria. We are talking about the taxpayers' money. And we are talking about a sector bedeviled by a lot of issues, a lot of challenges. We are seeking solutions. If you see, the environment here is very friendly. All the stakeholders are aggregated here to discuss and find solutions to the myriad of issues bedeviling the sector. So, we have already resolved that each disco is a legal entity and they have their peculiarities. We want to hear from them those peculiarities so that we can take note of it. Very soon, syndicate groups will be established and issues will be discussed. But this committee recognizes you as the chairman of an umbrella body of Association of Distribution Companies. So give you that right to speak, particularly on general issues that affect discourse. On particular issues, each disco as a legal entity to speak itself. Thank you very much. You can go ahead.
And like our leader that spoke first, I'm also a lawyer. The law in this sector, particularly the market rules, provide for the establishment of umbrella body, umbrella association for the operators, both for the GENCOs and the DISCOs. So anyone saying social service, nothing social, is a legal thing, but that's not a problem, sir. With due respect to your office and for what you have said, I've accepted. You may invite the MDCOs of each of the DISCOs. They will come and make the presentation, sir. So thank you very much, but I'll just make it very clear. I'm not here illegally. I'm not here as a social umbrella body. I'm here legally as provided for in the law guiding the electricity industry in this country. So we're not doing anything outside that law. So thank you very much for at least allowing me to be here, sir. I complained because I've been here since 10 o'clock and we put our name somewhere, representative of the disco, then they were passing on. That's the only thing. And I'm okay, sir.
Mr. Sunday,
so thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Sunday, I'm not going to take this. You are specifically invited.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are here.
To represent the discos.
You are here to speak for the umbrella body of distribution companies.
I've been told that I'm not supposed to speak for them, so I can go, sir. I'm okay, sir.
There are general issues highlighted.
There's no issue I would say. Even the leader is saying, let him go. Excuse, sir. We're all Nigerians. And one thing, sir.
Please,
we're here to find solution. I'm supposed to just come here and say, this is what we think, sir.
When a point of order is raised or observation by an honorable member,
my apologies, sir. I'm not a member of the...
Is having the floor.
My apologies, sir.
Yes, please. Somebody raise a point of order. Okay, please.
Assembly is seated. We have the gavel and we have the chairman. Once the gavel has gone down, they should understand what that means. The representative of the Speaker of the House of Representatives is here seated. Mr. Chairman, we can't sit here and overlook certain things being carried out. It is unacceptable. The gavel has gone down, a motion has been moved and passed. If he's not going to follow our procedures, Mr. Chairman, I don't mind and I will not waste any time moving another motion to stop him from arguing with this body, with this honorable committee. We know you are a lawyer. We know you represent a body. But please, you must show some respect to the National Assembly.
Honorable.
Mr. Chairman, please, the gavel has gone down. You have given terms of reference and it should be followed. I so move, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Of Nigeria electricity distributors have apologized for whatever mistake he has made. He will go ahead now to make the submission.
Disco, which is the franchise area of where we are. But again, that light that went off is an indication to us that we are not where we're supposed to be. And unless we are ready to be frank and face the fact, there will be no light. I will start with a quotation by Dr. Akinwumi Adesina when he was then at AFDB. He said, and I quote, "No economy can grow in darkness. No economy can industrialize in darkness. And no economy can be competitive in darkness." So everybody agreed that we need electricity. But the only way we can have it is first to understand the electricity itself as a product. The day we begin to see electricity the way we look at Fanta or Coca-Cola, that's when we can begin to really do the serious work that will make us to have light. What do I mean? There's a cost element to electricity. And I always tell my friend, my very good friend and brother, we're very close, Shivokori, electricity is a product that has a cost of production. What we should be talking about is this product, how do we make it available sufficiently enough, mass production, or if the production is high, the simple economic principle is that the price will begin to go down. So the truth is that we are not seeing it enough as a product because people are still talking about social service, it should be this, it should be that. So in our own belief as an industry, number one, we believe that everybody in the value chain needs to play their part. And we always liken the value chain to a single family. 3 brothers living in the same house, but different rooms. Because they live together, they are joined together, they share the toilet together, they share the kitchen together, and they have a living room. The moment they are all in their rooms and they are not talking to one another, they cannot achieve anything. 3 of them, we call the Genko the most senior brother. We call the transmission in the middle the second brother. The disco that I represent is the youngest one. In that house, they send the youngest brother, that youngest one, to go out and collect money. The Yoruba people call it Babalajo. He goes out to collect money. But all the inefficiencies among the 3, is the one that is known. So people identified the three only through that younger one. And the younger one too is not efficient. And discos were not efficient enough. Sometimes we are thieves, sometimes we are stupid, sometimes we don't even take our customers, we don't deal with them the right way, we take them for granted, so we are not even perfect. Same thing goes for the second born and the first born. And of these three, and I had the opportunity to say this to the president not long ago, that these three, the one in the middle is the most pampered. In my own culture, I'm from Abeokuta. In my culture, the youngest person in the house is always seen as, "Is your last born, they pamper him." But in this sector, he's the one that is bullied, because it's the one that is known. That's the truth. The person that is known has to be the one that will be questioned. And it is right for Nigerians to question us because we have failed. So the solution is for us to now look at how can we deal with the old three and ensure that things work well. Transmission Company of Nigeria is the most important in this case. Because if the producer produces the product somewhere, there's somebody that needs to carry it to the person that is the distributor or the retailer that will sell it to the end users. If the product cannot get to the end user, there will be problem. And if the end user too is not doing the right thing, the discos, there's problem. If the producer is not producing enough, there's problem. So Nigeria today, we are hovering between 4,500 and 5,500. The TCN of Nigeria has never transmitted 6,000 megawatts of electricity in a single day. It has never happened. Even the one that we did it for less than 24 hours. The highest milestone. But when we do presentation, we don't tell people that we only did it for a few minutes. That's the truth. I'm saying we need to tell ourselves the truth so that we know where we are going. And you will never hear me say, the discos are doing well, they've done this, they've done that. The same disco that some people have problem with their transformer, they will call us, we won't respond. Later, we now have to tell NEC, let us understand why certain things are happening in certain ways. So we think, number one, the way forward, I don't want to talk about these are the problems, these are the problems. I know there are problems. I believe all of us know what the problem is. We believe that it is time for Nigeria to stop the idea of relying solely on gas. We do only few hydro, and we have failed as a nation to even do something about Mambila project. And we see what was done in Ethiopia. And I don't know, I'm sorry if I offend anybody. If we stand here as Nigerians and we're so happy to be Nigerians, look at Ethiopia, less endowed. They started the project in 2012. By 2025, they have completed it. More megawatts than Mambila Hydro that we wanted to do. But half of the money that we said we wanted to spend on Mambila is what they have spent to complete their own. And Mambila is still less than 10% completed since 1982. And then we say we are doing well. I think these are the things that we need to look at so that we can have a mixed grid. So we need to have a mixed grid, solar, wind, small hydro everywhere. In my own state, sir, there are this river basin authority. And I was very happy when I look at the program when they invited us. I saw that they invited the Minister for Water Resources. Sir, there's a need for a synergy between the Federal Minister of Power and the Federal Minister of Water Resources. There are river basin authorities. The one in my state has 9 megawatts since 1982. They tested it for 45 minutes in Abeokuta, and I'm happy. My brother is here, Honorable Isaka. He's from the same town. He's my younger brother. He knows. They tested it during Shagari regime for 45 minutes. Since that date this afternoon, nobody has done anything with it. That 9 megawatts can power a small community around there. Why should that be a problem? And there are so many all over the country. So today you call the Minister of Power to sit down with the Minister of Water Resources. You say all these water basin authorities, anything there that can be used to harness, giving power to the local areas, that will increase what we have. And solar, some people are criticizing the villa for installing solar. We felt that it was a good idea. Why? If the presidential villa requires 1.5 megawatts of electricity, to stay on for 24 hours. The moment they install solar, we can now use that 1.5 for other customers, not only within FCT. Nasarawa is there on that same Abuja disco. Kogi is there. We are not serving them well. So we felt that anything we can do to increase the mixed grid will help the nation. That's what we think. Then we feel that there's a need to protect the infrastructure. The power infrastructure in Nigeria are dilapidated. And then when my brother was talking about vandalism, vandalism is real. Unless it is only happening in Ogun State, where I come from. Vandalism of even the towers. And today it was mentioned. Somebody presented earlier and mentioned the number of towers that were hit. Go to Niger State and some areas. All those things affect what we do. And then we cannot continue with a single national grid. Our national grid is radial in nature. That is to say, it goes on a straight line. We need to have a loop. I work in this industry in another country. I lived in the UK for 32 years. I've done this job for many years. I'm not an engineer, so I'm a lawyer. But I have enough experience to say I know how this thing works. All we are saying is there should be collaboration, there should be cooperation, and there should be alignment. There's no alignment between the GENCO, transmission, and discos, where there's a structural defect. Some people are not even talking to each other. In the way past, when we started 2013 to 2018, we were always blaming each other, naming and blaming as discos. At a point, we had a meeting, we said, we have to stop that. Because the moment we continue to blame others, we are not even looking at our own problem. I started by saying we are not efficient. We do a lot of things. We spend so much money training our staff, and they are Nigerians. So the problem is that we have to find a way to ensure then we need transparency in the sector across the board, from GENCO to transmission to disco. If everything is transparent, even you as our leaders, as lawmakers, by the time you call us, you will have had some information before you even get to us or call us. You have those facts. We need data. We don't have enough data. Data is a problem for the subsidy problem. And I will explain briefly, sir. If there's data, and we need to subsidize people that don't have the means to pay electricity bill, once we know those that need to be helped, we should do individual subsidy. That is, we should subsidize people by helping them individually using data. For instance, if we say people who are over 75, government want to be paying their electricity bill because they are old and weak, we have to know their name. We have to know their location. Then we send it directly to them. Maybe we buy token straight to them. And to do all of this, number one problem that we have is Nigeria should have, every single house in the country should have a meter. Since I've been in this sector since beginning, 2013, we have the sector, the government, I'm sorry that the regulator is not here. They have changed the policy on metering 4 times. There's no consistency in that policy. Metering is failing us. People don't have meter. And when people have meter, they can measure their consumption. And there's no need for estimated billing if there is comprehensive, aggressive metering. Last year, one of our leaders, a minister, he came out and said, meters are free. Installation of meters are free. He made a very universal statement. And I got across to him, to somebody else, privately to say that was a dangerous statement. What do I mean? You came with 500,000 meters. We needed 8 million meters. And there's a map created by the government. And you're saying meters are free. People now decided maps. They didn't go to map again. They say meters are free. But the 500,000 is not enough to serve 8 million people. What I mean is we should be giving information that are clear, concise, and explain to people, we've done 500, we're going to do this next. And when we are distributing meters, we should do it in such a way that it will be uniform. If we say Victoria Land, let's not meter every single house in Victoria Land. Not that Oduton will use his own long leg. I will take 2 meters from Victoria Land and give to my family at Isolo. We have problem as a nation with honesty. And that is the truth. Lastly, sir, I think, so for the grid, like I said, I think we started installing a device that is used in other countries to monitor the grid. They call it SCADA. It has taken Nigeria about 20 years to do what was done in UK within 5 months. I think, let's be honest, if we need to do something, we can do it if we are ready, and leaders are ready to ensure those things are done. And lastly, okay, for the discos, when you talk about there's no electricity, always remember that efficiency is also linked to pricing. If I'm selling bread, sir, as a bread seller, the bread seller is not the owner of the bakery. That means I get the bread from the bakery. I'm a distributor of bread, but that bread is not mine. The bakery and the baker also need flour and some other ingredients to be able to produce bread. When the baker now sells the bread, he needs a transporter to bring it from Ibadan, where the bakery is, to me in Victoria Land in Lagos. If the vehicle is not properly maintained, or the tire bursts on the way, the people buying bread in Victoria Land will be abusing me because there's no bread. That's why I say the value chain needs to be aligned. If we are able to generate 10,000 megawatts, we must be able to transmit 10,000 megawatts, and we must be able to distribute 10,000 megawatts. To do that, there's a need for alignment, technical and commercial alignment, and we must have enough investment to be able to do all of this. MDA, sir, ministry, department, and agencies. For those of us who have lived in other climes for many years, I think government agencies need to be paying their bills. They should all be metered, and I know that 99% of them are metered. To even get money from Ikeja Air Force Base, we were beaten. I was there in person. These are the kind of things that we are not blaming anybody. Like now Ikeja, we sorted it out. We now installed a 40 million naira meter that can enable us to press a button within Ikeja electric headquarters. The light will go off. That technology, to do it all over the country, requires a lot of investment. If I'm selling a product, half of it are stolen, and I can't get the money back, there's no way I'll be able to reinvest in the business. But that is not making an excuse for the discourse. Once again, my apology to all members that are offended by my approach. I do not come here intentionally to cause any stir, and I think I'm a Nigerian, and I'm proud to say I'm a very patriotic Nigerian. I'm a high chief of Egbaland, and we're still one of the best cities in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.